Good evening, everybody. I'm Michael Filighera, and I am with logicalsignals.com. And this is the Elliott Wave update for the NQ for Thursday, April 8th, 2021. There is not much to be adding to actually what took place today because we were expecting, excuse me, continued upside. And thus far, at the beginning of the Globex session, actually 2 hours into it, we are now trading above 13,000, 8,000. So what I want to put the conversation on tonight is that we need to start putting in relationships and those Fibonacci relationships and Elliott Wave relationships between the different waves. And that's going to help us to build a zone of where our expectations could realistically go to a level that may cap the entire rally, finish it off, and start the next larger decline? Or is it going to break above a particular level and take us to the next zone up higher, which would then be expected to contain the rally, to complete the rally, and for the market then to begin its next phase? So basically what we're looking at is relationships that are going to take the market above 14,000. And then we're going to look at relationships that are going to take the market above 15,000. So these are the two relationships. So let's now begin to put into place both the Fibonacci numbers that we want to use that are going to build the base for what we're going to be looking at. So right now, we are now going to draw expectations for the intermediate wave 5, which is now underway. So that's the kind of the larger picture because of what is finishing. And it is finishing, there we go. The primary wave, or excuse me, intermediate wave 5 would complete the primary wave 5, which in turn is going to complete a cycle wave 3. So we're getting to a very large top in terms of time and movement. Okay, so relationships within here that we want to start to build. Within the minor waves, I'm going to drop this back down to, let's take a look at the hourly chart, because now, well, I'm going to go to the 4 hour, because we're looking at the waves within this intermediate wave 5, which is what we're counting. That was the end of 3. Here was the end of intermediate 4. We're in intermediate 5. And intermediate 5 is going to have in and of itself 5 waves of minor degree. And those again break down. So what we're counting on the minor level is a 5-wave advance. Thus far, the way we're counting is that waves 1, 2, and 3 are complete. Wave 3 might be extending here, and we might have to, work that out. But right now, we're using this as where wave 3 ended, wave 4, and we're now in that minor wave 5. There is a possibility that we'll be extending it, and so we'll switch it around, but it's not going to affect these numbers so much. So we're looking at that wave. And then in a larger context, we're looking at the relationships between the larger intermediate wave 5 to the intermediate wave 1 and intermediate wave 3. Okay, so now first we begin with the relationship on intermediate wave 5 as it relates to intermediate wave 3, so we can start to put together some numbers. And what we're looking at here is we've now reached a level where this wave 5 has now equaled 50% of the wave 3. Not necessarily an area or a level that we would expect to contain and turn this whole market lower. And just the energy that it's now generating kind of tells you that the same way. Now, so the next level up is going to be that this intermediate wave 5 would equal 0.618 of this third wave at 14,184. So that's going to be our first window that we're looking at above the 14,000 level. So we have 14,000, and we're going to use 14,185. So that's a point. Now, within this relationship, intermediate wave 5 would equal 0.7 or 70.5% of the wave 3 at 14,465, I'm going to call it. So now we have start to build a zone. Now, also within this, I could look at relationships between this minor wave 5 and the minor wave 3 and the minor wave 1. So why I think wave 3 is extending is really for the following reason. Wave 1 in and of itself was 1,080 points. And wave 3 thus far, the way I have it labeled, is 1,045 points. So wave 3 does not, it can come in less than wave 1, but in a 5-wave structure, wave 3 cannot be the shortest wave. So that puts a limitation on what wave 5 expectations would be if my count is correct, which is why I'm saying that we have a very strong possibility that this 3 is going to move to here, this 4 is going to move to here, and now we are finishing just within that minor wave 3 a level, and that level could take us anywhere between here. We have some additional not levels down below too far, but we have one level at 13,906, and that is where wave 5 would equal wave 1, and that fits pretty clean, to be honest with you. So, and basically is $100 from where we are right now, or 100 points. And that's pretty easy for the NASDAQ to do. Actually, very easy, as we saw today. And hold it, you know, gets it up there, holds it. A couple of things going on just to kind of put in while we're talking about relationships that are going to support our higher prices. We are dropping into earnings season. And so that the big boys come out, like Apple reports late in April, Amazon's late in April, Facebook is late in April. So that's a lot of time, a lot of speculation, a lot of comparisons of, you know, that this is the earnings season, I believe, that is going to propel things to its high. So we now need to factor that in and start to build the zone as to where do we think it can go? So can it go 2,000 points higher from here? Yeah, it could. It could. If this traveled 1,000 and this has traveled 1,000, for sure, we can expand that wave 3. Look at this wave 3. That was 3,000. So yeah, they can, and they can move. This minor has a huge, it's a lot of points. So the reality is the market is capable of doing it. One thing that's working against it, but for it, reaching these higher levels, it's not rallying on intense, strong volume. I mean, it's a lot less than what was going down. So not that many. I mean, people are either adding to their longs or coming in, getting long, or funds are moving in, or whatever's happening for the money moving around. It's not like it's the start of a new bull move. That's when we see shorts cave. They're like done, and they're now covering, and they are now getting long. A lot of stuff happens at those levels, but it's thinner volume right now. And if you've got a lot to buy, people stand back and go, there it is, way up there. And they might contribute up there, but they're not going to be willing to sell the larger amounts down below. So the market gets pushed a lot harder. Okay, back to relationships. So we do have for minor, this minor sequence that we're working right now. And in fact, I am going to move the 3 up to here and move that 3 not to be done, because I think that's essentially really what we are completing. And so we can redo some of these relationships because wave 3 isn't over. But in terms of the larger picture, when we're trying to look at the entire intermediate wave 5 as compared to intermediate wave 3 and intermediate wave 1, those are the numbers that we're going to build a zone around. For this minor wave 5, I still am looking more realistically at levels at like 14,450, 14,158. That's where I think that this minor wave 3 may reach. We have that 13,906, which could complete wave 3. And then we do a fourth wave. Let me just do this right now so we're not confusing anybody. I am going to switch it around, folks. So text note 205. And let me just remove that one too for right now. And so this 3 is going to move. All right, let me go back. Sorry. I'm going to edit that, make that a 3, and say okay. And now I'm going to get rid of that. And this likely is, let me duplicate it and just move it up to there, and get rid of this one and remove it. Okay, so we are basically looking at this fifth wave to complete the minor wave 3. That fits cleaner. When I look at this bigger picture, it's much nicer. Sorry that I'm taking the time to do it, but we're all watching together as we begin to continue to build our where we think this is going to end up. I'm going to switch this drawing off real quick. And I'm going to redo them now for our thank you. For the wave 5 that we're in. And we're going to do that same type. We're going to do it against but wave 1 and 2 to get what we believe might be coming for this third wave, and see if we can't build that zone as well. So we got this outside zone that we were looking at on the larger scale, and that's all about 15,000, and that's 15,460, 15,817, which is where intermediate wave 5 would equal 0.618 of wave 1 at 15,817. 5 would equal 3 at 15,460. So we got these larger numbers up there, and that's pretty wild. We did have that one number that 5 would equal 0.618 of 3, which will kind of put it up right where we are, but that's 14,212. So even that, we're still getting above 14,000. And then we have the larger numbers. Now let's go inside this and just look at where these relationships are. The drawings on, we want that. Come on, thank you. Right there, you know what the low is. 52, but that's not one. There you go. And to there, down to there. Okay. Come on, Lord, it won't stop. That's the place. Come on. Sorry. There. Okay. So here we are looking at, these are all great. So on this fifth wave, we have surpassed where wave 3, which it should, is equal to wave 1. Now, one of the relationships between wave 3s and the first wave is 1.618. That's right here, 14,330. If that just completes the third wave, then folks, we really will be heading up above that 15,000 or well above 14,000. I mean, we have 14,450, and inside we have that 14,212. So that is also in there as a relationship to here, but that would complete the whole cycle. And wouldn't be looking for it in this area, but it is there and it will provide resistance. But any of these levels, 1, 2, 3, 6, 13,319, it certainly comes and breaks that high, which is not necessarily required within its current structure, but hey, be a good sign. So we're going to now start to peg it here, from here to here to here. That's the immediate zone. We'll be filling in because we have other zones that we're going to put into place. Once we're done with 3, we get that 4, which will like to drop us back into here. That's the zone I'd be looking at, that the next little decline will bring us in, and then we'll launch again from there to complete the whole move. So upside's on the way. Once we do reach the high, we can put a wave 3. We will look for a wave 4. That's an ABC. It will be in down. That's A down, B up, C down. We've done them, and they're very tradable. So we just want to be on the lookout for that. It could happen. Does not necessarily preclude or cancel any future expectations that the market's going to get up well above 14,000 before all is said and done. That's it for tonight. Tomorrow's Friday. Have a good day trading. Remember to continue to trade what's in front of you. Expect the higher ranges. We now have levels that we can put into place where we believe the market can go to and find stronger resistance. We can use our moving averages on the shorter term charts, like the 30-minute, the 15, the 5, the 2, the 1, and those are going to help to direct us during the day. And then, of course, you're going to be using point of control. You're going to use value area high, value area low, and your moving averages. Put them all together, and you've got a clean set of a roadmap that's chart-based. And the charts will tell you where you got to go. And then let the buyers and the sellers come in, and now you have a roadmap of possibilities of where markets can go in both directions. Have a good trading day.